Alright, it's officially 1 month into owning this lovely 1987 924S. It's finally time to change the oil because I pulled the dipstick and realized, bear with me, it appears to be almost completely dry, which is awesome. Luckily, there's no internal damage. So we are out of Yule, or however the fuck you say that in German. I don't speak German. I have my $8 felony. Figured I would also do the spark plugs while I'm at it. I bought the very expensive Iridium ones for like $11 a pop. Also got a mobile one because, I don't know, it said European on it. This is a super simple job if you've never done it. 21 millimeter spark plug socket, 17 millimeter conventional socket for the drain plug. I thought I was going to need the oil filter pliers, but I'm in luck. This thing is just hand tight. Upon getting under the car, I realized that loosening the filter by hand might have caused a little bit of dripping into the dirt, but the dirt is where the oil comes from, so to the dirt it shall return. I also figured out why I don't have power steering. Possible culprit is the fact that this is completely disconnected. The little arm and everything. I don't know why this was done, but if I had to guess, it might have to do with the fact that there is grime and grit all over it. I should probably rebuild that. So hopefully this shot looks nice for you guys. But if you never changed your oil, it's a pretty easy way to save a little bit of money. Shop bills are very expensive these days. And I reckon with about spending probably close to $100 on just parts for spark plugs and oil and a filter, it probably would be well into the $200 range if I were to go to the shop. I know I joked earlier about, oh, it's fine, just put the oil in the dirt, it's where the oil comes from. But this is actually kind of a shame to see. I really don't like spilling anything, especially not, you know, kind of gross chemicals into the ground and nature. So afterwards I'm going to try and clean this up as best I can. The oil is just about drained, and then comes the fun and easy bit, taking the filter off. Alright, I should find a nice place to put this, but when doing oil changes, it's important to remember that engineers are not your friends, and this is a stupid place to put it. Although, I will say, it's not the worst, but this little hose that's in my way is kind of annoying. Whoops. It's also a good idea to take some oil. I'm going to first wipe my hands because my hands are covered in oil filter soot. Get a nice little bit on your finger like that, just around the lip to ensure a nice proper seal between the gasket and the filter. Yeah. Make sure the new one's on there nice and tight. Give it one more test just to make sure that I did everything okay. That should be good to go. And we'll throw the old oil filter in the drain pan. And the final task that we're doing today is pulling the spark plugs out. I've already got the first one out. Oh, ow, that's hot. So, pull that out. You can very easily see that it is absolutely time for a new one. Also make sure you don't over tighten them. Okay, so this one's also pretty shot. chance to cool off. Nice steady pour is what you want. These cars take a little over 6 quarts of oil. So here's the first one. You hold these off to the side, it allows a nice bit of airflow, and we can just ignore that little bit that I just missed. You can hear it, a little vacuum being created. Whoops. There goes my camera, but oil is in. Hopefully that gave it enough time so I can actually get that second spark plug wire mounted. It's also important to remember to cap this back up. If you don't, your oil will come right out the top of your engine. All right, let's try to get that last spark plug wire on. So I'm just going to show you how I did this after the fact. Is I took the spark plug wrench and used it as a pry bar so I could get my other hand down in there, making it impossible to film nicely, but it is on, all 4 of them, and we should be ready to go. And while the car's running, just gonna make sure nothing is leaking, but sounds good. No obvious drips or spills. Good to go and take it off the ramp. If you haven't picked up a pair of these already, they are like $45. They're from AutoZone Advanced. They're just cheap ABS mats. ABS ramps, I mean. And they're absolutely wonderful. One of the nice things about manual transmission lightweight cars is if you do it right, you can just push it right down off the ramp, catch it with the parking brake, and pick up your ramps. And there we go. A very complete, albeit a little bit messy oil change. Hope everyone's having a good day. And I'll probably record one of these in another few weeks. About like 2 hours later, I'm on the road, I break down, and here's what I thought it was at first, this frayed hose. I'll show you what it actually is. I wouldn't consider that a slow leak. I'd definitely consider that a fast leak.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Car.
That sucks. So while driving earlier, I found out the hard way that my radiator is not properly secured in place, as my radiator fan ate a nice little hole in the very hard to find hose that runs from the water pump to the radiator. I'm gonna try Advance. Already tried AutoZone. They are unable to even order one. Car might have to go up on jack stands. Relatively easy fix, but the hard part is finding somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, that actually carries the parts I'm looking for. One of the absolute joys of owning and driving Porsches is just knowing if you have a water-cooled one, when one of your hoses goes, you're going to have to replace the next one and the next one, so you might as well just do all of them at once. I'll see what this store has, and hopefully it's good. My hopes are not high. Usually I just go in there, walk to the back, and try and find any hose that looks almost correct, and then just mash it on there. But we'll see. The even better news is I've been meaning to order a bunch of things from Pelican Parts, a few relays and some switches. So if that's the case, I'll just buy all of that in bulk as well as the hose. And getting to work is going to be the only real issue, but apart from that, it'll be pretty easy. On the tow truck, we did get this really nice roller shot, probably the nicest roller shot I've ever captured of a vehicle, which is funny because it's leaking fluid on this guy's tow truck. Got home safe. The most embarrassing thing is going to be this next image. My friend and coworker actually saw my car on the trailer